Today is all downswing. We're going to be talking about your trail side, how your right shoulder should be moving towards your right hip and how that's going to help you improve your quality of contact. Make sure you check out this video. And I want to talk about something called right side bend or trail side bend. What we see with a lot of elite golfers is at impact, they're actually compressing this side, so their trail side of their body, because their trail shoulder is moving down closer towards their trail hip, almost pinching that area there. What does the lead side do? Well, it straightens and extends. And this is great for a couple of reasons. So into impact, we want this trail side, trail hand moving down towards the golf ball, help us maintain our forward bend from our hips, so our posture effectively. When golfers don't get this movement, we quite often see this standing up position where they're early extending, losing some posture. So trail side moving down towards the golf ball is going to help maintain my spine angle. It's also going to force me to really rotate my body more open. So as this trail side moves more down towards the golf ball, the lead side will start to automatically rotate up and open, so it will start to move out of the way. And that's great for a power source because now I'm starting to really use some great rotational forces, getting that side out of the way. Getting players to put the club shaft across their shoulders, get it as level as possible, right up high on their shoulders. And I want the grip end pointing towards the target. I want the club head supported, so it's going to be pointing more up in the air. And what I'd like you to do is in the backswing, I'd like you to get the grip end pointing a couple of feet outside the golf ball, there. Then on the downswing, I want you to try and get the club visually, from your point of view, looking like it's going to hit the golf ball. So that trail shoulder, trail side is moving down towards the golf ball here. And it really feels like I'm very much on top of the ball, often called compressing the golf ball. So I'm in this position here where I feel like I'm going to strike it great. Now people will probably comment and say, well, what about the driver? You still want this type of movement, this trail side moving down towards the golf ball. The lead side would be extending very quickly. What's the difference? Well, the ball's gone more forwards in my stance. My head would be a little bit more behind the golf ball. So rather than my head over the golf ball or my chest over the ball, I actually would keep my head slightly behind the ball. So my lower body would be in a pretty similar position. My upper body with the drive would just be a little bit further back because that ball's forwards, the ball's off a tee, and I'm ideally hitting a little bit more level or up on the golf ball. The one thing we've got to watch for, when you are trying to work on this movement, it will not work if you're extending that trail arm too early in your downswing. So this pattern, this trail side bend here, does need the trail elbow to be flexed until just post-impact. Now, I'd like to see that anyway. I'd like to see that trail arm reaching full extension post-impact. But people who get a lot of this in the downswing, really getting that trail side moving down towards the ball, have to have that elbow still flexed and extending more here. You cannot be down here and throw that trail arm early because all you're going to do is hit it fat. You're going to hit a lot of heavy shots. So that's what I was trying to do first of all, just with a small swing. It's just get the sensation, my trail side moving down towards the golf ball, and then that I'm actually getting my arm reaching full extension post-impact, not pre-impact. So let's just quickly do that again. Let's come down into pre-impact. My trail side's moving down towards the golf ball, and my arm is extending post-impact, not pre-impact. Just do what we refer to as the windmill exercise. So with your arms stretched out, you look a little bit strange doing this one on the first tee, but try and get your fingertips of your lead hand again pointing a few feet outside the golf ball, and then try and get that right hand almost collecting the golf ball from here. Now, as I said, what you'd actually need is a shorter trail arm into impact if you're going to maintain your spine angle better, if you're going to pinch that trail side. So this one I'm just going to do more like a half swing and try and get that same feel. And I might be exaggerating the movement here, so I'm probably going to feel like I end up like that, blocking a few outright, but you can see I'm still tilted over. I still feel the pinch in here, and I definitely had to get my arms or my trail arm extending post-impact. That body has to, this is important again to say, the body has to extend, it has to straighten. But when you're doing some of these drills, you're probably going to feel like you stay down here a little longer. And that's fine when you're doing drills, that's fine when you're doing exercises, but know that your body has to straighten, it has to extend, it cannot stay down here. Let's build that just a little longer, more of a 3/4 swing, and actually just allow my body to rotate and extend upwards after impact. There we go. Okay, that was better. More down my target line, as you can see. Really got that feeling of here, but also then finishing nice and tall in the finish position. Before we perhaps go ahead and hit, let's do a full one. I always find it great. Once I've done some of those little quarter swings, half swings to feel something, I find it much easier to then go ahead and hit one full, not overthinking it, try and keep some of those same feels. What's the feel to me? Almost like I'm creating a bit of a pinch here in my obliques, the side muscles for me, as I'm squeezing my right shoulder towards my right hip a little bit more. But very happy with that one, much more down my target line. Now, I mentioned another drill. This is a good one for if you're on the range or in the practice net, something along those lines. I wouldn't worry too much about the ball flight initially. And again, I give this to a lot of golfers. And you may well, if you're not new to my channel, have seen me do this before. I want you to set up as normal, but then I want you to slide the club through your hands. So you're a good sort of 4 inches or so down the handle, almost so your trail index finger of your trail hand is almost onto the steel of the shaft here. Now we're not going to move any closer and we're not going to bend any lower. We're just going to keep the club hovered up in the air. I'm going to make a normal backswing, but to get to that golf ball, I'm going to feel like I move down towards the golf ball. I'm not going to cheat and do it with the knees. I'm going to do it more from my hips. I'm really trying to feel like I push my pelvis back and really get that trail side moving down towards the golf ball. So you can see how high and hovered I am and how much lower I've got to get in the downswing. And again, you'll see, you won't be able to follow through fully on this one, but you'll see how much more tilted over, how much more right side bend I've created here into impact before I'd have to extend fully into the finish position. So yes, the movement's the same with the driver. There are just some subtle differences. Obviously the ball's more forwards, the ball's off a tee. So your head won't be covering the golf ball, it'll be a little bit more behind the golf ball. But when we see players create this right side bend, they create it with all clubs in the bag. It wouldn't just be the irons, it would be the longer clubs as well. So the trail side's moving down towards the golf ball, the lead side is extending. As I said, if you're going to get that pattern, which great if you can do it, it just relies on you being able to rotate your body open. So if you had major flexibility issues, really can't rotate your body, then you're not going to need to create as much right side bend. And to make that pattern work, you've got to keep that elbow flexed. So if you're working on it but fatting it a lot, hitting a lot of ground contact, just look at that trail arm for me. It might well be that you're throwing the club a little early and you've got to do some drills, some exercises on it. I hope that video helps. If it does, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and don't forget to subscribe. Right now, YouTube is suggesting the next video of mine that's relevant to you is just here. Click on it and check it out.